Back behind them, Red Canoe, and here's Spillway. He's starting to finish it off down the middle of the course. It's the cleaner headed by entirely Platinum as they go to the 200, but Spillway is starting to eat up the ground on the outside. And here comes Extra Zero and Happy Trails. Spillway hit the front, Extra Zero and Happy Trails after him. Spillway, Extra Zero storming at him. They hit the line. A photo finish between Extra Zero and Spillway.
Spillway wins the Australia Cup on the weekend for trainer David Hayes and Tom Dabenegg and expat Kiwi rider Michael Walker, who's with us from our Melbourne studios. Michael, the Australian Cup won by a Kiwi. We love the sound of that over here, and I'm sure you do too. Good evening.
Evening, guys. Yeah, obviously a huge thrill for me and another feather in my career, and hopefully it's not the last.
Did you think you'd beaten the stablemate? Because he came pretty fast, Extra Zero, didn't he?
He did, obviously. I didn't. I actually said to Damien Lane after the winning post, because we were really close mates, I said to him, "Good on you, cuz, you got this." And he turned to me and said, "You reckon?" I said, "I'm pretty sure you did." So I was happy that we were trotting next to Sammy Hyland, and he looked down at the 5 and then looked at the 15 and said that I got it. Then I was over the moon. So luckily, the gods are on my side at this point in time.
Michael Butcher here, just watching the replay. You've held this horse up for as long as you could. You waited, and then asked him for the effort, and gee, he responded.
Yeah, hey Butch. Yeah, obviously last season David and Tom were trying to get him out to a Caulfield Cup trip, mile and a half, and they thought he was that type of horse. But now we're sort of restricting him up to 2,000. That's going to be the furthest he goes. And I was mindful of that, and I had a beautiful run during the race, so I didn't want to push the button too early, knowing that 2,000 was going to be as far as he needed.
Mickey, Twiggy here. Mate, obviously a great result for you, your first Group 1 winner in Melbourne, but it's been a long time between drinks in Australia too for you.
Hey Twigs, yeah mate, it has been something in the back of my mind that I've been thinking about, and I've had numerous opportunities, but I just have to do what everyone does, keep working hard, keep your head down, bum up, and do the right things by people, and the opportunities will come. And obviously my opportunity came on the weekend, and I was able to take this opportunity with both hands and conquer and achieve it.
Yeah, for sure. You've had a very colourful career. It's been up and down. And what do you put your success down to this season? I mean, you've ridden 86 winners and 62 of them have been for David and David Hayes and the Fabbring team. So how have they turned you around, Michael?
I wouldn't so much say it would be David and Tom turning me around. It was, I finished the season and a few things in my life had happened, and I just reflected on the season and I thought to myself, I'm going around as just another jockey, and I've always been a person who's set goals, and Alan Sharrock, my old boss, always made me strive to achieve different things in my life. And so I actually sat down, I set myself a lot of goals. I wanted to achieve 100 winners for the season and finish in the top 5. And then obviously the opportunity came with David and Tom, and he put me on a bit of a trial period of see if I could work, see if I could handle the pressure, and most people know I love pressure, so all those things boiled up and it's come to a head, and here I am now achieving everything that I set to at the start of the season. And I'm not going to rest now just because I've won an Australian Cup. One fine day don't make a summer. A close person to me, Bob Sharrock, told me that, and that's something I live by.
How did the relationship with David Hayes come about originally, Michael?
Probably 3 or 4 years ago I was riding a little bit for David, and I was leading the premiership and so was David. Chad Schofield was there then, but I was riding for him. And then I had a hip operation, and I came back from that and I struggled to get a ride from him for probably another year. And then I didn't ride for him again for probably another year and a half. And I think with Chad leaving, David was looking to fill that position. He didn't want a stable rider, but he wanted to see if he could find someone that would work hard and obviously had the talent. And he never said anything to me, but they just started putting me on and making me work. And it sort of snowballed from there.
Look, it's not a bad setup to be working in. That Lindsay Park's quite a state-of-the-art facility, isn't it?
Amazing, amazing. You have restaurants or cafeterias for the staff, you have water walkers, swimming pools, tracks up hills. Everything is state-of-the-art, and it's a pleasure, and I feel very humbled to be a part of this operation. It's an amazing team effort, and you know, I'm a guy who gets on there for 2 minutes and gets all the glory and so forth, but it's definitely not me. The staff, they put in the hours that they put in, the jobs that they do, everything. They have morning staff, day staff, night staff. They're the people that deserve the credit, not me, and like I say, I just feel humbled to be a part of the team.
Mickey, how do you make it work from that commitment out at Euroa? How far out from Melbourne, and then secondly, you must stay out there sometimes. Do you have a schedule, obviously doing a lot of riding as well, that works?
Just depends, Butchie, on our horses, whether they're galloping at the Flemington operation or they're galloping at Euroa, and whereabouts their up-and-coming races are. For argument's sake, today is Werribee and races, but obviously I'm suspended, so I'm not there. But I was going to go to the farm tonight, ride work there in the morning, and then tomorrow I think there's Terang races, which is out that way, so then I just would have gone to the races. But obviously now being suspended, I still will go there this afternoon and celebrate the Australian Cup win with the staff tonight, and then tomorrow ride work there, and then come back to Melbourne for my appeal, and they want me there Thursday morning as well. So I live in St Kilda on the beach, so it's about 2 hours from my place. So generally I set my alarm for 3:30, I leave at 4:45. I've got to be there at 6, but I'll have sort of 15 minutes sleep along the way, and then get there about 6 and leave about 9:30, just depending on 10 o'clock, depending on where the races are.
Mickey, with your suspension and your appeal tomorrow, you also copped a $1,500 fine for excessive use of the whip on Spillway. It'd be fair to say that without that excessive use, he may not have may have been the difference between winning and losing the race?
100%, Twiggy, and as you know, with being a jockey, mate, sometimes those stallions, they're one or the other. They don't like being hit, or you've got to hit them to get them over the line. And as you've seen, I won by the barest of margins, and maybe if I didn't do that, he wouldn't have won. But for argument's sake, I was within the guidelines of the rules for the whip usage, but just excessive, which was just too many times. Still, I was backhand, and I was within the guidelines, but just excessive I wasn't. So I had to cop it. If I was going to get 1,500 every time winning $1 million race, I'd do it every time.
Yeah, as you would. Look, you got suspended for your ride on Wah Whale, who won the CUNY on Saturday as well. It's a Lonhro filly that you've always spoken highly of, Michael. Yeah,
most definitely. I've always spoke to her as a potential Group 1 filly or mare. Me personally, she doesn't do it in this preparation when a Group 1, it's going to be next. Hopefully it'll be this one in Sydney, because this preparation in Sydney, because for me, off the back of winning Australian Cup, there may be into criterion depending on my appeal, and also her, it could be a kickstart season for me for years to come here, and maybe the Scobie Breezy Awards this year could put me more up in the ladder to achieve that.
Michael, would it be fair to say the start for Wawa previous to Saturday that David was a little bit critical of your ride? He thought you may have gone a bit hard early?
Yeah, most definitely. And for me as the jockey, when you're riding for a successful operation, you just got to accept your faults and the things that you do wrong. And on this occasion I did. But I think our tone with the ride I gave her on Saturday.
For sure.
Michael, 1,400 Saturday she won at, and she looked strong to the line. Up to a mile next time won't be a problem to her, you wouldn't think?
Definitely not, but one thing she does, I wish she wouldn't do it. She gets to the front and she waits for them. Yeah. She was going to win by lengths when I came out, and then she does it so easy. Like even after the race when I pulled up and I went up next to the pony, she wasn't blowing, she wasn't stressed, and she just walked. Nothing bothers her, and she may need to have a stressful run to be able to realise that she's got to go. But she just does things too easy.
Just before we go, just talk us through that appeal. It's tomorrow, and you're trying obviously to have it reduced to ride Criterion on Saturday. Is that right? Yeah,
Criterion in the Group 1 and also Fast and Rocking for us in the Galaxy. You know, for me, it was a suspension. I'm definitely not arguing the decision by the stewards to suspend me. I'm arguing the severity because it was at the low end. So low end is generally 7 meetings, not 8. So I'm just arguing the severity of it, and that'll go up tomorrow at 11 a.m. So fingers crossed I'm successful and I can get back to riding in Sydney on Saturday on Criterion and Fast and Rocking and maybe or hopefully pick up a slipper ride, and yeah, fingers crossed.
All right, things are going really well for you obviously. A Group 1 on the weekend, your second Australian Group 1, and on the Victorian Riders Premiership, I think you're up to 4th now, so you must be really stoked the way things are going.
Most definitely. Up until 2 weeks ago, I was four in front on the overall Victorian, and I was 6th on the Metro. Now I'm 4th on the Metro and 2nd on the all-over Victorian. So things are going really, really well. And obviously I'd like to thank David, Tom and other trainers, and also all the staff that work for stables over here, and also all the owners I ride for. Without them I wouldn't be able to achieve this goal, and I'll keep working hard, and hopefully I can only build on what I've achieved so far in Victoria this season.
All right, well, congratulations again on the win with Spillway on the weekend, and thanks so much for taking the time to join us here on Weigh In.
No problems, any time. Thank you very much for the time, guys, and hello to everyone back home in New Zealand, especially my kids, Case and Layla. See you guys.
Perfect.
See you, mate.
Mickey Walker with us here on Weigh In. It was Tom Dabenig's first Group 1 training success as well. I'm sure that you know, it was something that they all looking forward to celebrating tonight by the sounds of things.
Big night tonight.
It doesn't sound like he's got far to get home. He said his unit, the one he stays in, is next to the bar, so don't know that that's Hazy's best work, but anyway.
All right, look, just prior to the break, we touched on the Kiwi domination in Australia this weekend. Let's go back and have a look at a replay of the final stages of the Newmarket Handicap. Chris Waller, the trainer of this 3-year-old Brazen Beau, who left some really good sprinters in his wake. Butch Chautauqua, Terra Vista, Lankan Rupee. I mean, this win was just stunning.
Just incredible. You know, he's given him the gun ride, and when he asked him to extend, it was immediate, and it was electrifying. That's the best field of sprinters that you could assemble, and he's second-rated them.
Yeah, he has. I mean, just the Chris Waller factor, isn't it? He was second up. He's improved 3 or 4 lengths on his first up run, and he's you know, made a 5-length turnaround with Lankan Rupee. I just don't know. How does he do it? He's a freak.
Look, you know, he's a 3-year-old, and with the handicap, I think he had 52 compared to the 8 was it?
Yeah.
Lankan, all of those things. But gee, that was phenomenal. You're right.
He was dominant.
Oh, dominant. He was massive, and looks like he'll head to Ascot now. And gee, on what we saw on Saturday, he's going to take all sorts of beating there.
Maybe a $30 million colt now.
Well, he's been sold, hasn't he? I think was it Darley purchased him. Yeah, and he'll no doubt have his spot in there. Stallion barn, but gee, they can put some more value on him before he finishes by winning at Ascot. What that'd do is make him a shuttle horse. It'd secure his spot in the Northern Hemisphere if he was to win at Ascot as well, and that would then make him, whatever they paid for him, seem like cheap.
Peanuts.
Yeah.
To Sydney, the Coolmore Stakes on the weekend was taken out by Plucky Bell for Peter Moody and Kiwi-born jockey Linda Meach, and she squeaked through a little gap here. That was a super win, super ride.
Yeah, it was. She was getting the gaps everywhere, and first seal being posted wide the entire, and I know they say ride them like they're the best horse in the race, but gee whiz, covered that much ground, and Plucky Bell covered none and got the win.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? Good for Linda. Gee, she's a hard worker, and she's been going around for years, and been number 3 for Peter Moody for some time now, and that was a great result for her. But geez, the second horse is a tragedy, wasn't it?
And what about James McDonald to the 4 again with the riding double? First of all with Target in Sight beating Deep Field, and I got the feeling Butch he was pretty happy with this.
Well, when you know what happened with the Hawke stable and James, you can sense that this was a very special win, and it was well named, wasn't it? Target in sight, and you could sense James was going to go off, and then he just grabbed a hold. There was something told him not to, and
I'm glad he did. I'm glad he did.
Yeah.
And Hartnell was his second win. We saw the resuming run the other day for second, and he climbed aboard on Saturday, and yeah, it was pretty dominant.
Let's just hear the description from the caller.
It's men against boys here. Hartnell coming on for the job and wins it from either opinion, I'd say. Got up for second in front of Hawkspur. Then Who Shot the Barman, followed by...
Yeah, that's a great call from Mark Sheehan, men against boys, and he's a very good horse, Hartnell. Very, very good horse.
And we got news, of course, officially through last week that J Mac had signed up for Godolphin as one of their top riders or leading riders.
Yeah, he's one of three now, 3 on the roster, isn't he? We saw the other 2 operating in Australia on Saturday. That takes him to a new level. It cements his position with the international operation. It means that he's going to be required, I suppose, to ride in the Northern Hemisphere over their busy time, and it just cements what we've known, that he's world class, and it's been recognised.
Exactly. Guaranteed bread on the table every week too.
I think the Kiwis
a good loaf though.
I think the Kiwis will have another good weekend in Australia this weekend. Here's the list of some of the horses going around. You've got Mongolian Khan and Volkstock and Barrel going around in the Rosehill Guineas. You've got Silent Achiever and Lucia Valentina in the Ranvet, and Rising Romance in the Epona. And is it James going to ride?
Yes, speaking to Donna, James to ride Rising Romance in the Epona, and it's a softer option. I think she backs up a week later into the 2400 metre race. So to give her the softer option this week than the Group 1 as well. I think that's the way they're looking at it, and he was able to ride her, so yeah, it's a good result.
All right, before we take a break, Wyndham yesterday, Blue and Gold won the Cup down there for Brian and Shane Anderton and Kylie Williams, and on Friday, Miss Seaton Sands won the listed New Zealand Bloodstock Insurance Stakes at Ashburton for trainer Stephen Woodsford and Rasha Kineen. We're back with more in a moment.
Uppers, Leverve, K-Raz next, and then Sophia Loren. Starlight Angel by ahead on Miss Seaton Sands. They've got it between them at the moment. Miss Seaton Sands and Starlight Angel. It's Miss Seaton Sands just in front of Starlight Angel, and Miss Seaton Sands, one at a neck, beats Starlight Angel and K-Raz.